Sonya Massey has a family member. She is shot dead. There's also a 4-year-old relative who was killed by the police as well. Put it up for Mass. In the weeks since the killing, in my opinion, the murder of Sonya Massey at the hands of an Illinois cop, new details have surfaced about another police killing in the same state that claimed the life of a 4-year-old child named Terrell Miller, purported to be her younger cousin. Just 4 months before Massey's untimely death, Terrell Miller was fatally shot by a police officer in the western part of the state. Several social media posts began circulating that drew comparisons between the deaths of Massey and Miller. Some posts even alleged both victims were, in fact, related. With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show. Atlanta Black Star did a great job on the reporting of this. Terrell was killed at his home on March 16th, which was 84 miles away from Springfield. Police were called to his mother's apartment that night to respond to reports of a domestic violence dispute. That dispute escalated into a hostage situation. Bodycam footage shows 2 responding officers break down the door to the apartment after hearing screams and cries for help from the apartment. That's where they discovered Terrell's mother, Kiana Miller, with multiple stab wounds. Now, I want to make sure I provide proper context at this part. The officers, when they heard the screams, they were well within their rights and privileges as a cop to enter, okay? Here's where it gets completely illegal, in my opinion. The officers escorted Kiana from the apartment. Her alleged attacker, 57-year-old Anthony George, retreated to Terrell's bedroom, okay? So the cops are walking her out. The child is still there. He then retreats to the child's room because the officers did not secure the apartment. George is seen using Terrell, the child, as a human shield and holding a knife to the neck of the 4-year-old and another blade around his waist during the confrontation with police. The situation then took a deadly turn when one cop, not both, when one cop made the decision to simply shoot. That bullet passed through the baby first and then shot George in the neck. Both of them died at the scene. Miller's attorney stated that only 16 seconds had passed between the moment the officers kicked down the apartment door and the moment the fatal shot was fired. She added that the officers never executed any de-escalation or negotiation tactics. If that was a white baby, does the white baby get shot too? You have to think about these things. This doesn't happen in other communities like it happens in Black communities. The immediate de-evaluation of life, not only of the 4-year-old, but also of the individual who's holding a hostage. Typically, if there's a hostage, what is your protocol? Hostage negotiation. Sir, everything's going to be okay. Calm down, sir. I'm going to step out. We're going to talk to you. You get a professional in there. You save the life of the child. This cop decided, kill them both. Unlike Massey's case, however, prosecutors declined to criminally charge the officer who shot the baby. The findings from the state police official investigation into the shooting were then turned over to a special prosecutor who ultimately decided not to file charges. McDonough County state prosecutors, who often handle police cases from the county, wanted Terrell's case to be reviewed by the appellate prosecutor's office to avoid the appearance of a conflict of interest, according to the Peoria Journal-Star. After reviewing police reports, audio and video recordings of the shooting, and use of force protocols, the special prosecutor, whose name is Jonathan H. Bernard, wrote a letter to the county state prosecutors stating that he found, quote, no basis for any criminal action or prosecution that is supportable under the facts of this case against any of the officers involved in this tragic incident, end quote. You know, at minimum, this is gross negligence. This is criminal negligence at minimum. This is involuntary manslaughter at minimum to the 4-year-old, for sure. According to this prosecutor, even though the cop violated a multiplicity of protocols and no other cop saw it necessary to kill the baby in order to shoot the assaulter, nothing happens to him. There's more. So what's unclear is how Bernard justified the use of deadly force that endangered a 4-year-old child. According to the Washington Post police shootings database, Terrell is the youngest child to be fatally shot by the police in that state since 2015. That's the year the newspaper began gathering police shooting data. Quote, I feel like Terrell would never receive justice. He died for nothing, Keanu Miller told KHQA News. Terrell's mother said her son would have turned 5 July 18th. I'm sure that was a difficult day for her. She told an NPR radio affiliate that her family knows Massey's family, but both families are not actually biologically related, but they do know each other. I know her whole family. We've been knowing each other for some years, Miller told Tri-States Public Radio. She encouraged the community to continue protesting for justice for Terrell and for Massey. Years ago, Miller said she once had a horrific premonition that her son would actually die at the hands of police. I believe her. Let me tell you why I believe her. We've seen it right here on Indisputable. We have literally seen people say, please don't kill me. And then all of a sudden they're dead, even though they had no weapon, they presented no threat to the cop. Or they told their mother, the cop is going to kill me, don't let him take me. And all of a sudden the mother gets that call. He didn't make it to the precinct. We've reported on those stories here. According to the Daily Beast, she was captured on video at a Black Lives Matter event in 2020, speaking with members of the Democratic Women's Group about a dream she had. So even though she said this on the public radio station recently, there's footage of her speaking in 2020, okay? Quote, before I even had my son, I've been having this recurring dream that the police runs into my house and kills me and my son, end quote. Miller said in the video, some days I wish I was a whole other color. She says, some days I wish I was a whole other color. To get a better chance at life. Why is she saying that? Not for her sake. A better chance at life for the sake of her baby. She also talked of an encounter. She talked of an encounter she had with a police officer when she was pregnant with Terrell, who allegedly asked the gender of her baby before saying, I can't wait to arrest your son, end quote. Miller's attorney claimed the officer who shot Terrell acted recklessly and urged authorities to investigate the case. Quote, we intend to hold the police department accountable for Terrell's tragic death and will be pursuing civil remedies. Attorney Marlene Serres said, this is not over. It doesn't have to be over. Let me tell you why. There has been no official prosecution, which means there's no adjudication. You do not have double jeopardy attached. He has not been found not guilty. There is nothing stopping a prosecutor with competent jurisdiction from bringing charges against him. Now here's a recommendation. File the civil suit, get him under subpoena, and also subpoena the records of his cell phone, his email, etc. And then get the testimony of those who heard him talk about what he did. I guarantee you, he told somebody, I decided just to shoot both of them. Now that's evidence for a criminal prosecution. All right, Mayor Mondale, thoughts here?
Yeah, and I don't even know if we need the lawyer claiming that this man acted reckless, this police officer, because in 16 seconds, you made the assessment to kill a baby and someone else. And I think what people always say is, well, this person was acting criminally. A 4-year-old wasn't doing any damn thing.
Right.
It was in their room and now it's gone because 16 seconds gave this person enough to say, oh, I'm done with this, kill them both.
Yep.
Kill them both.
And that's the reason we have a different protocol for a hostage crisis, because we understand the hostage is innocent. And you don't get more innocent than the hostage being a 4-year-old baby that was only in the apartment still because the cops did not secure the apartment before leaving. All right, we'll bring updates as they come.